And good evening, everybody, and welcome here to the Memphis Motorsports Park as we're getting set for our 10th race of the season, of the debut season of the PCSRA Craftsman Truck Series. As we're getting set for tonight's running of the Procore 200. After tonight's race, we only have 6 more races left to go. Time is running out for drivers, and desperation is going to kick in here in this evening's race. J Ard on the pole position is ninth in the standings, still trying to find victory lane for the first time this season. Alongside of her, Chaz Farmer in the 59 machine. Chaz Farmer had a terrible race last week at Charlotte, dropped down to 28th position in the points. Alina Ritchie in row number 2. She is 35th in the points table. Alongside of her is Carolina Bradley, who comes in this race 21st in the points standings. You look at the rest of the starting lineup for this evening's race. Let's tell you about the point scenario coming into tonight's race. Marcus Sellers is the points leader by 21 points over Billy Kitchens, 31 points over Harrison Jenkins, 41 points ahead of Xavier Allsopp in fourth. J Underhill dropped down the spot to fifth. Then it's Carlos Rodriguez, Victoria Hughes, Michael Brown, J Ard, and Ingrid Pollard. Those are your top 10, as it's 71 points separating those drivers. We're going to make sure everybody rolls off pit road from our pit lane cam. Getting ready for this evening's race is right up there. That's where I'm at. And looks like everybody has rolled off onto off pit road respectively. Making sure nobody has a mechanical problem. And looks like everybody's ready to go racing. Isn't that a good thing? Getting set for our 10th race of the year. As I said, 6 more races left to go until we find out who will be in the playoffs for the Truck Series. They have this race and next week at Milwaukee, and then they're going to be off for a very long time. Green flag is in the air. We're racing at Memphis. J Ard not wasting any time as she's going to take the race lead. Alina Ritchie also going to be in the contest to try to take the lead from the Hooters Ford F Series as Chaz Farmer went up the track. Allow Alex Winters to take the lead. We have this race here tonight as Alina Ritchie is going to go to the race lead. We have this race tonight, next week at Milwaukee. Then we'll have the night race at Bristol for this series. Papyrus, a road course we're going to have. Trucks will head back to the West Coast to go to Sonoma, and then the regular season finale will be at Daytona to determine who will make the playoffs. So those are the remaining 6 races we have for the regular season. So a couple of road courses and our super speedway race is going to be a big one as the caution looks like it's out for the first time this evening. And that's the driver who we need to talk about, Shyla Askarov, involved. 15th in the points, came into this race 12 points ahead of 20th in the standings. This is not what Shyla Askarov needed. And I believe she's the only one involved out of the 36 that we have, as we had a spin on the back straightaway. So the yellow's out for the first time this evening. Let's jump back, look at a replay to find out what happened to Shyla Askarov. See what happened to Shyla Askarov here. Looks like she got loose, got into Olivia Jackson, and also got into the points leader Marcus Sellers. That's what sent them around. Carlos Rodriguez came and sideswiped the 36 truck. And the black smoke of death means Marcus Sellers' day is done. That's not good because he came in this race as the points leader. Billy Kitchens is the driver who's trying to run down Marcus Sellers for the points lead. So a lot of black smoke on the Power Stroke Diesel Ford F Series, and looks like Marcus Sellers' evening is done in that regard. Shyla Askarov, this is not the result she needed. She needed a good run to stay away from 20th in the standings. We're going to see where this is going to hurt her, help whether or not she's going to be up to speed or not. As we're under yellow for the first time this evening, let's show the restart here at Memphis. Green flag going to come back in the air on lap number 11 of 30. Should be 20 laps to go. J Ard is the leader. Alex Winter second. Anthony Ritchie third. Alina Ritchie fourth. Carolina Bradley fifth. Michael Brown, Ingrid Pollard, Emma Keizer, Billy Kitchens, and Cheyenne Berkshire, your top 10. Marcus Sellers, the only driver out of the race. He came this race as the points leader. Billy Kitchens is running in ninth. He came in this race second in points. And that's the driver who's trying to run down Marcus Sellers for the points leaders. We're back to green here at Memphis. Or correction, I need to correct one thing I said about the regular season. It's actually tonight at Memphis, next week at it's Memphis, Milwaukee, Kentucky, Papyrus, Sonoma, and Daytona. I forgot. I apologize if I made that little mistake. Those were the 6 races. The PCSRA officials had to correct that little mistake, so I do apologize about that. Halfway through this race, when we cross the line, interesting thing, the Truck Series, the Coca-Cola Truck Series, had the regular season finale here at Memphis. Glad to see Memphis on the NR Gen 3 calendar, even though we don't have Memphis in real life anymore, which is sad. But hey, I love coming to a track like Memphis Motorsports Park, and, it's a lot of fun. Tomorrow night, we cap off this race weekend with the Busch Series. And then next week, we're off to Milwaukee before all 3 series meet at Kentucky. Winston Cup is off this weekend and next. And speaking of Shyla Askarov, she will actually be making her Winston Cup debut because there was a penalty that was handed out following Charlotte. More on that when we discuss that in the Winston Cup Series race at Kentucky in 2 weeks' time. J Ard, who I'm going to have to see if Jessie did win a race or no, she did not actually. She did not win a Coca-Cola truck race last season. So if she wins here tonight, it would actually be her first career Truck Series win. And the big question is, would this put J Ard in the playoffs? because she came in this race looking at the playoff grid 3 points below the cut line. And Billy Kitchens was 42 points above the cut line. Remember, Billy Kitchens has yet to find victory lane this season. And the other question is, can Shyla Askarov stay in the top 20 in points? Aaron Hornish came in this race only 34 points, 36 points checked at behind 20th in the standings of Blake Wagner. And let's see where the 9 is running. The 9 is running in the 31st position. I don't think that's going to be enough. Shyla Askarov is definitely going to fall out of the top 20 in points, so she is running out of time to try to get some good results if she's going to be in the playoffs going into next week's race at Milwaukee. J Ard, the 20-year-old. I forgot she turned 20 earlier this year. Driving the Hooters Ford F-Series. We will see her brother Sean at Kentucky with the other 39 drivers, in the Winston Cup Series in 2 weeks' time. Because it'll be only Trucks and Busch this weekend and next, because Winston Cup is off the next 2 weeks. So those are, by the way, the regular season races I've just mentioned for the Truck Series. So they're going to have 2 road course races, and they're also going to have a couple of road course races in the playoffs. Watkins Glen and Lime Rock Park. That could spice things up into how the elimination races will be. So should mention Bristol that I just mentioned that I accidentally added on the deal. Bristol's actually in the playoffs for the Truck Series. Because the first round, I believe, will go Chicagoland, which we haven't been to Chicagoland yet. And I've also realized for trucks, we have not been to Dover. I believe Dover's in the playoffs, believe it or not. So that's going to be fun. Remember, they get 7 playoff races, whereas Cup, they get 10. As we have 2 laps of racing to go. Yeah, Bristol will be in the playoffs. It'll be the second race of the respective rounds for all 3 series. That should make things a lot interesting as we're going to come to the white flag here. I don't know if Alex Winters will have anything for J Ard. Here we go. White flag's in the air. 1 more lap to go. Well, as soon as I say that, Alex Winters tried to get underneath J Ard. She's about to lose that spot to Carolina Bradley, and that might have just sealed it right there, boys and girls. And J Ard through 3 and 4. J Ard will win the Procore 200 here tonight at Memphis. And now has J Ard locked herself a spot into this season's chase for the championship. Alex Winters will get second. Good run for her. Alina Ritchie third. Carolina Bradley in fourth. Michael Brown, Anthony Ritchie, Ingrid Pollard, Emma Keizer, Billy Kitchens second in points. And Ashton Ingersoll. Didn't talk much about Ashton as he comes away in the 10th position. Abigail Furling came home 16th. She was a total of 12 points back of 20th in the standings. We're going to have to see where this is going to situate. The good news is the guy she was trying to run down, Blake Wagner, finished in 30th. That's a difference of 14 spots, so We're going to have to see where this is going to situate Abigail Furling and Aaron Hornish. I have a feeling Aaron Hornish is going to have to need another win to get himself get himself in the top 20 in points. And Shyla Asgrove, this will take her out of the top 20 in points, as we only had 35 trucks finish the race, with Asgrove the last on the lead lap, and then Marcus Sellers, even though we had nobody finish the lap down, Sellers the only truck out of the race after the only incident from this evening's festivities. But J Ard will go to victory lane. Has she locked herself a spot into the playoffs? We have 10 races, 10 different winners. But where's Abigail Furling going to be situated when the points come out heading into next week at Milwaukee? We have to finish up this race weekend with the Busch Series race here at Memphis because Winston Cup is still off. And then next week we'll have Trucks and Busch from Milwaukee before all three series head to the Bluegrass State of Kentucky Speedway. Please give this video a like if you guys enjoyed today's race. Subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We share your full finish results. Your points are down in the description heading into next week's races. You've been watching yet another broadcast of PCSRA TV, where champions are made since 2010 and 15 years as the best in racing around the world since 2017. I'm Dean DeVille saying good night from Memphis. We'll see you tomorrow night for the Busch race.